Welcome back, wonderful humans. I'm Danielle and I currently live alone and I'm trying to shift towards healthier meals whilst remaining on a budget. This week, I just went into Lidl and spent just under £20. So I ended up getting a few of my standard items, including things like this authentic Greek natural yogurt. It's the 10% fat version. I'm aware that this obviously has a bit more fat in than, say, a Greek style one, but that extra protein makes it well worth it, especially when I normally only have a tablespoon or two at a time anyway. I also got a cucumber, decided to get a whole cucumber so that I can mix it into salads or have it as part of a sandwich, something like that. I just grabbed one of those. I got some cherry tomatoes as well. As you probably know by now, if you watch my videos a lot, I tend to either get cherry tomatoes or baby plum tomatoes based on whatever happens to be cheaper or if I have an offer going on. Then later in the week, I'm planning on doing a smoked haddock and leek risotto. Still have the smoked haddock in the freezer and already have some risotto rice. So all I really needed to do was get some leeks. And they come in packs of two in Lidl, but I'm sure I'll be able to find a way to use the other leek and any leftovers from that up during the week or the next sort of week and a bit as well. I was starting to run super low on squash, so I got some more of this double strength apple and blackcurrant one as well. They do a few ones that I like. I like the lemon one, but I can find that it becomes quite samey quite quickly. So I just went for the apple and blackcurrant one instead. And then I got some of this milk, have a few recipes that involve me using milk. Then there might be a few breakfasts that involve it as well. So I wanted to make sure that I had another one on hand, as I think I have about three quarters of the one left that I just opened. And I got some bananas. These ones are nice and green. So by the time I actually get round to eating them, they should just be going nice and yellow. And I remembered that the thing that made me also want to get these particular tomatoes is I can mix them with some of that avocado and pop them both on a bit of toast as part of a lunch at some point, or just to have a sort of a little bit of a more textured salsa, sort of avocado guacamole kind of thing. I also got some eggs because I'd finished the ones off. And then I got some of this wholemeal seeded bread. I'd ran out of bread, and there was a day last week where if you've seen my meals of the week video, you'll see that I just had some eggs. That's because I didn't have any carb to have them with for my breakfast. So I decided I better pick up some more bread there to be able to do breakfasts, lunches, and any sort of lazy dinners with as well. Especially because I'm on the 8 shift, so that means I'm working nice and early, so I'll be able to have meals at more sensible times of day as well. I grabbed some more baking potatoes. There are a couple of recipes where I want to do mash for either as a side or to go on top of something like a fisherman's pie. And I got some of these mini plain tortilla wraps because, in fact, I intend to do chicken fajitas later in the week. I find if I get a big wrap, then I just end up loading them up too much with too many fillings. And then I got some of this full fat soft cheese, the herbs flavor. They didn't have any of the low fat one or any of the normal ones, so it was pretty much that or nothing. And I got some of this lemon juice from concentrate because I don't naturally go through too much lemon, and in Lidl it only tends to come in bags of 4 or 5 lemons at once, and that's just too much for me to go through before they'd go bad. And I got a tin of corned beef. I'm not 100% sure when I'll use this, but I find it's a good cupboard staple for doing something like a corned beef hash at some point, or even just chopping up to put into a sandwich. And I got some bistro salad. They didn't have as many options of salad as they sometimes do, but I figured that that'd be good for putting in some wraps at lunches, having as part of a side for my dinners. And it was just a good thing to get in general. And then instead of getting more refrigerators, whilst I do still have a few of those left, I decided to grab some of the cooked chicken breast slices. They obviously probably have a little bit more salt and calories and everything to them than perhaps the refrigerators do, but they'd come in at probably about half the price and means that if I want to have it as part of a sandwich or as a snack, it's a lot easier to do. So, yep, just under £20 this week. Didn't really have any offers, but still a pretty good amount of food, I think, given the healthiness that it involves. And as always, I appreciate you taking the time to watch. And if you enjoyed, please consider hitting the like buttons, consider subscribing, and I'll see you again soon.